Secret is you don't have to be a professional to create graphic designs like these. It's actually as simple as drag and drop, and if you don't believe me, then I guess you're in the right place. Hey, my name is Kaylee. I am a creative coach right here on, well, basically every platform, and I'm going to help you unleash your inner creative designer, whether you knew you had her or not. So if you're ready to jump in, make sure you are subscribed, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads, and let's become the star of the show. Are you ready? We are gathered here today for me to introduce you to Creative Fabrica. Like 90% of my graphic design content, it all starts on this platform. And let me just give you a brief rundown so that you know exactly what your new best friend is all about. This is one website that houses fonts, graphics, embroidery, literally anything you need for digital design, digital content. You can find it all on this website. There's a million reasons that I choose this website, but if you would like to check it out, there's a link down in the description. I highly recommend it. Anyways, for today's tutorial, we are going to be utilizing some Canva templates that you can find on Creative Fabrica. In the top, I put in Varsity Canva templates, and you'll see that an array of options come up. Basically, a variety of different lettering, wording, and text. Today, I am going to be using one that is Christmas themed because at the time of filming this video, we are right about in the Christmas season. But I do want you to know that you can create basically any one of these templates with the same concepts and tools that we're using today. So just mental note, all of these are here, and we are going to go over and find the Merry Christmas template that we will be working with today. Keep in mind, the more detail you are in the search bar, the better your options are going to be. And as you can see here, we actually have two different options, and I'm going to be going with the bottom one just because I like the way that the Christmas is set up compared to the other option. Once you're in there, you will see this green button that says download. But I do want to point one thing out quickly. At the bottom here, it says includes commercial use. That means that you can reuse this design on prints and sell them on t-shirts or ornaments, etc. Once you select download, if you are using Google Chrome, it will pop up in the right-hand side. If not, just go to your Windows tab, your file management, and it should be the first thing in your downloads folder. You will notice it downloads as a PDF file, which can be a bit confusing because you're like, well, we're trying to create something here. Open the PDF file and you will see some variation depending on the creator. They're going to put download, open, or click here. Make sure that you select click here and it will open in whatever browser is defaulted as Canva. Now, if you don't have a Canva account, you will need to create one. But for me, I already have Canva Pro. It's just the best for me, but you make your own decision. You can scroll through here and see there are actually two options, and we're going to cover both today. And then at the bottom, it says use template for new designs. That's where we're going to get started. This is optional, but I do recommend going into the top-hand corner and rephrasing your title. That way you know what it is when it downloads, and you're easily able to find it when you go back in to redesign. Click out of there once you're done, and it automatically saves. Canva automatically saves periodically, which is very nice. Now, like I mentioned before, there are two different variations of the same type of design here. You will see that cloud pattern means that these are frames, so you can drag and drop an image into here. This top one we will cover first. As you'll notice, this is one huge frame because it's not all chopped up. Everything is cohesive. That means when you drag and drop one image, it's going to cover the entire text area. Compared to this bottom one here, they're all broken up in each individual letter and the phrase at the bottom. That means that you can drag and drop individual pictures and it's not going to cover the entire text. On the left-hand side, you're going to see your working toolbar. The second one down says elements. You'll want to select that, and then you'll notice that Canva has so many elements that you can utilize. There is another search bar, and remember you can be detailed or undetailed. For me, I'm just going to put in Christmas patterns and see what we find. Now you will see that it comes up with graphics, photos, elements, etc. Today we're just going to kind of focus on the graphics and the photos. Now graphics are transparent. They're great for so many things, but not for pre-made templates like these. Because when we snap them into place, they don't leave any of that outside structure that we are looking for, and it's kind of like, what exactly is going on here? So make sure that you're going into Photos. And on the right-hand side, right next to Photos, it says See All. Once you click that, it'll open up basically all of the patterns that you can utilize. They have so many different ones. For me, I'm a vintage feeling girly, and I kind of like that cozy sweater weather, so let me see what we can find here. I think I like this pattern here. So let's kind of click it and see where we can go with it. The pattern is not going to automatically go into the frame. So once it appears, you need to select the image and then kind of move it around over top of that frame, and it will snap into place automatically. Now, I do think that looks cute, but if you wanted the lines to be a bit more chunky, you would just double click and then you were able to resize. Or you completely rotate the image if you would like the lines to be going horizontal or vertical. It's totally up to you, but you really do have creative freedom in here. And the best way to learn is just by clicking and moving things around and just having fun. Remember, creativity should be fun. Don't take it too seriously. I actually prefer the way that this graphic came in, so I'm going to zero out the rotation, select done, and then it's going to pop us over to our graphic. Now, sometimes I'm questioning what would this look like on, let's say, a black crew neck. Well, all you need to do is select that white box behind your image. That's called your artboard. Then a little toolbar will appear at the top with the color wheel. Select the color wheel, and then you can change out the background color. I actually love the way that looks, but let me say I'm kind of liking the mustard tones this year. So I go back in to make sure that it's going to work with the graphic and realize, ooh, I can't really see that too well. So another cool thing that you can do is put a border around these. You'll select your graphic, and at the top here, you'll see these little lines. That's going to be your border. You can play around with the width and how dense it is, or you could go to the top and make it a dashed line, a little dashed line, pretty much whatever you would like to do. Now, I will say for me, I just like to go with a little bit of border. It gives us some texture and a little bit of dimension, but I'm also thinking that that black color is just a little too harsh compared to those more muted tones. So I'm going to grab the palette that's kind of already going along with this color scheme here and then drag it down to maybe a darker brown or a more muted black tone. And I think that works out perfectly. So you don't really have to select it or save. You just click out and then it's complete. You're ready to export and then utilize it on whatever you would like. Now, one last step is make sure that you clear out that background color. That way you can download this as transparent and there's not going to be any background, which that's what you need if you're using DTF prints or even sublimation. So at this point, you should be feeling super confident because you've already created your very first graphic design and it is ready for use. So it's time to move on to our second design, which is my personal favorite because we get to add a little bit more personal touch and elements into this design. Now, as I mentioned before, each letter and the Christmas at the bottom is its very own frame. We are going to start this the same way we started the last graphic, and that is over in our toolbar on the left-hand side where it says Elements. Once that's opened, you will see that your previous search is already saved, and it's actually going to give you some recommendations based on your last pick. Now, I really like this peppermint one. I'm telling you, they're spot on with my personal design. Once this appears and I begin the drag and drop process, this is where you're going to see some change. It is only going to drop into one of the letters. I'm personally going to use M. It's just the easiest way to start, I suppose. Now, once again, if you would like to resize, you just simply double click and then you can drag to resize or rotate. For me, I want to make these just a little bit larger so there's not so much detail, but enough to make it cute. Now, I am going to do a 2-pattern scheme here, but the thing is, I cannot copy and paste that M. It's going to copy the entire frame. So for me, I recommend just going back into Elements, reselecting that photo, and then dragging it into that first R. Sometimes it takes a little bit to drag over things for it to figure out where exactly it's going, so just take your time. And then make sure that you're resizing it. That way, if you resize the M, you should do the R and the Y. That way, they're all kind of just cohesive. So at this point, you probably are questioning, like, is it really this easy? Graphic design really is this easy. People just aren't breaking it down. And you know me, I'm always here breaking the things down. So make sure that you are subscribed and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of these upcoming tutorials. Oh, and by the way, if there's any specific or trendy graphics that you're trying to figure out, how in the world did they make those? Make sure you leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what you recommend for some future tutorials. Anyways, now we are ready to move over to our second design. And for me, I do trust Canva. They know me by now, so I'm going to go under the magic recommendations and select See All. I love a lot of these patterns, and it's not going to be hard for me to find one here, but I want to make sure that it's not too busy because we already have those peppermints going. I think that these lines are going to be perfect. Kind of breaks it up. It has the same color scheme as the other ones, but it's not going to be too much where it's like, oh, that's an eyesore to look at. I'm going to make them a little bit more thicker because I think when they're thin, they really pull your eyes in, and I actually don't want those to be like the focal point of this graphic. So dragging and dropping, making sure that they're kind of both cohesive is going to work out best for you. If you've been searching for graphics online, then you've found that the trend right now is the illusion of embroidery, and this is actually how you achieve that. So head back over to your patterns and type in fabric. We're looking for a fabric that gives the same color scheme but darker as the patterns that we've been using. Then we want to drag and drop that into the outside border. Initially, you'll notice that the border is all cohesive, which we do want, but it does try to snap into the larger frames first. So if you're having a hard time, zoom in, snap it in, and then zoom back out. The text on the bottom, that Christmas, it needs to be the same fabric, so it gives the illusion that everything was sewn in and then those fabric pieces behind were an additional step. From here, you may not be seeing it, but if I change the color background, it gives more of that illusion. And you've made it. You have created 2 graphic designs now, but it's time to export these. So clear out that background color and then make sure you center your design. That way there's not any like weird cropping that needs to be done once this is exported. In the top right-hand corner, there is a share button, and then it will say download. There are 2 different files that we are most commonly downloading, a PDF file and a PNG file, and I will show you both right now. So a PDF file is most commonly used with like Adobe Illustrator. You want to make sure that you are downloading it as a PDF print, not PDF standard, and then change the RCB to CMYK, I believe it says. That is just optimal for commercial printing, whether it be gang sheet DTF prints or even a sublimation printer. It just makes sure that the colors are optimal for print. At that point, you'll just select download, and then you can find it in your download file. The second most common file, and the one that you're probably most familiar with, is a PNG file. Go to PNG. It's pretty simple. It is exactly what it says. But the most important thing here is making sure you select transparent background. If you do not select transparent background, it is going to have that white box around it, and it's going to print that way and becomes a humongous headache, especially if you are using DTF prints or printable vinyl. Once again, once that's downloaded, you can find that in your downloads file on your Windows. It was pretty simple after all. I knew you were doubting yourself, but we made it through. Anyways, make sure that you are subscribed, hit the notification bell. I have a lot of great videos coming your way for the holiday season. I know it's our favorite season. By the way, there is a creative resource link down below. It gives you so many avenues of different ways that I'm helping you out. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you comment down below. Oh, and whenever you're ready, we have a creative community just for you. It was nice chatting with you. I hope to see you soon, and have a great week.